From world events to Washington and New York City, here's your concise world update for Thursday, January 8th. The U.S. military seized 2 oil tankers on Wednesday, including a Russian-flagged vessel in the North Atlantic, and the second tanker was intercepted in international waters in the Caribbean. Iran's army chief warned on Wednesday that the country could take preemptive military action in response to what he described as escalating rhetoric directed at the Islamic Republic. Comments that appear to reference recent remarks by President Donald Trump. The Trump administration aims to unveil next week a new board of peace, along with an interim executive committee and a Palestinian technocratic body to help manage Gaza. Fierce clashes in Syria's northern city of Aleppo between government forces and Kurdish-led fighters forced tens of thousands of civilians to flee their homes on Wednesday, as international efforts, including reported U.S. mediation, sought to calm the situation. State and local officials in Minnesota called for an end to the Trump administration's immigration enforcement operation after a federal officer shot and killed a 37-year-old woman in Minneapolis on Wednesday. U.S. President Donald Trump asked a Georgia state court on Wednesday to order prosecutors to reimburse him more than $6.2 million in legal fees. He said he spent on fighting criminal charges of interfering in the 2020 presidential election. A Texas judge on Wednesday denied a defense motion for a mistrial in the case of a former school police officer accused of endangering children. Through his response to the 2022 mass shooting at Robb Elementary School, officials in Connecticut and Arizona are defending their decision to reject a request from the U.S. Justice Department for expanded voter information. After the federal government filed lawsuits against the 2 states over their refusal to comply, the Republican-controlled U.S. House of Representatives on Wednesday advanced Democratic legislation that would reinstate expired healthcare subsidies as both parties compete to appeal to voters ahead of November's congressional elections amid concerns over rising living costs. Maryland Representative Steny Hoyer is expected to announce his retirement from the U.S. House as soon as Thursday, ending a congressional career that has spanned more than 4 decades. House Majority PAC and its affiliated nonprofit House Majority Forward brought in $121 million ahead of the 2026 midterms. Political strategists say Democrats competing in this year's House and Senate midterm races should avoid making President Trump the central focus of their campaigns, instead emphasizing economic concerns, particularly affordability. Julie Menin, a veteran figure in New York City government, becomes the first Jewish council speaker. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani is standing behind a newly appointed housing official as she faces backlash for years-old social media posts, including messages that called for the seizure of private property and linked homeownership to white supremacy. An alleged cryptocurrency fraud mastermind accused by federal prosecutors in Brooklyn of overseeing brutal forced labor operations has been arrested in Cambodia and deported to China. A dramatic rescue unfolded in New Jersey when firefighters plunged into the icy Hackensack River to save a man whose pickup truck veered off the road and into the water. Holocaust survivor Joseph Veselski, and later became Ireland's oldest-known resident, has died in Dublin at the age of 107. U.S. stocks finished mixed on Wednesday, with the S&P 500 slipping as declines in major financial names offset renewed strength in technology and AI-linked shares. The largest U.S. banks are expected to post stronger fourth-quarter profits next week, buoyed by a rebound in investment banking activity as deal-making picked up pace late in the year. From the Middle East to Wall Street, you're up to date.